What it do, what it do. What it do, what it do. What's going on, fun truckers? Happy President's Day. How we doing? How we doing? Here to continue the boxing conversation. What up, Yayan? Thank you for being early up in the chat. Happy President's Day to you. Happy President's Day to you. Let me get this message out to all the fun truckers. I'm rocking right now. Let's get the stream yard link. Better use of the twin cams. Yeah, just a little bit of a rainy day here in Northern California. Decided to prop the camera up to get some of the vibes that we get, that I get looking out the window. You know, you have the BART train passing by. You have the freeway. That is the 280 freeway segment here in the southern part of San Francisco City. And CJ, thanks for the support with the comment. Fun truckers, I'm rocking right now. Here to continue the boxing conversation, we have Ryan Garcia fighting this weekend. We're going to pull up some other fights that are going to be happening this weekend. Discuss Zuffa Boxing's card last night. And we're going to find some interesting facts about President's Day, presidents and boxing. I know that Theodore Roosevelt was a wrestler or an amateur boxer. So we'll be taking a look into that. Some history of boxing and with presidents and boxing. There are probably some ties there because, you know, boxing is a pastime in American history. So I'm sure there was presidents that were big fans of boxers. We'll be looking to pull up some of that information as well as rock out. Rock out, fun truckers. Okay, so let's see. Happy Monday. Let's get this going. Get the link up here. Oh, and I got to pin it to the chat, to the top, the tippity top. Let's get this pinned. And Bobos, que onda troca? What's up, Bobos? Appreciate you dropping a comment. Today we're going to be discussing President's Day. Oh yeah, Theodore Roosevelt turned the White House into a personal gym, sparring daily with aides, military officers, even pros to stay fit. Once he boxed an army captain who detached his retina, leading to permanent vision loss in one eye, prompting him to switch to jiu-jitsu. Okay. Whoa, I bet you, did we know that? Did we know that Theodore Roosevelt was a Harvard intramural boxing champ in college? Making up for lack of skill with sheer toughness, he advocated for boxing as a way to build manly virtues amid fears of American men getting soft in the late 1800s. So what's up, Theodore Roosevelt? Men were getting soft in the 1800s without social media and TikTok. That's what Theodore's worry was. Ryan Garcia, who balances mental health and training, could a president like Roosevelt handle the spotlight of a modern pay-per-view fight? Probably not. Did you watch Zuffa card? It was good. I think the production values were good. The matchups need to get better, but I'm really impressed the way that they're doing it. I mean, this is the third Zuffa boxing card, Bobos, and they're making strides with production value. The commentators, they're getting all of that. For their third show, it looks like they've been doing it 100 times. Now, all they need to do is just sign some really good competition, and that Zuffa boxing is going to be a lot to talk about. What up, Almoni? Appreciate you in the chat. Happy President's Day to you. Hope you're enjoying the day off if you do have it. If not, hope you enjoy the stream. We're going to be going over some boxing topics, current events, and things that have happened in the past related to President's Day. Right now, we're talking about Theodore Roosevelt. So, Theodore Roosevelt boxed for Harvard. Can you believe in the early 1800s? Sorry, in the late 1800s, he was advocating for boxing as a way to build manly virtues amid fears of American men getting soft in the late 1800s. Come on. Roosevelt was thinking about men getting soft in the 1800s. Could you imagine what he thinks of all these fucking babies nowadays and the princesses and lawyers not wanting to fight each other? Golly. All right. Gerald Ford, Boxsmith Youth, is the only president linked to a heavyweight champ via trivia. He shares a unique historical footnote with Ken Norton. Ford became president without being elected, similar to transitional champs. Oh shit. President Ford was the elevated president. President Gerald Ford was elevated. He was an email president, as they say. That's interesting. Other presidents like Dwight D. Eisenhower boxed, wrestled at West Point, emphasizing discipline that carried into leadership. Man, boxing is so much more than a sport. It's a philosophy. It's a way of life. It is everything when you're obsessed with it, man. Everything comes back to boxing somehow. Zuffa Boxing, Dana White's promotion heating up. February 15th, Zuffa Boxing card with F.A. Ajagba knocked out ex-champ Charles Martin. Yeah, believe it or not, Charles Martin was a legitimate heavyweight champion. He did it in 4. All right. We have a good card this weekend. It is a presidential level. This weekend, we have Mario Barrios. He's defending his WBC welterweight title versus Ryan Garcia in a high-action clash. Champ and social media star. That's what Ryan Garcia is known for, a social media star. And Mario Barrios is the champ. Yeah, so following that, all right, so that's this Saturday, February 21st. Following that fight, you have Clarissa Shields rematches Franchon Cruz for the undisputed women's heavyweight title. Troca divirtate. What up, Panchito? A little tongue-tied this morning. Hope you enjoy the stream. Happy President's Day to you. Okay, and the weekend after, we have Emmanuel Navarrete versus Eduardo Nunes for the WBO IBF titles. Expect fireworks in this featherweight bout. And earlier in the month, we had Nick Ball get knocked the fuck out by Brandon Figueroa for the WBA featherweight belt. And UK can't handle the Mexicans right now and probably for the future. I mean, Mexicans basically run the UK. All right, and here's a random fact about Abraham Lincoln. A famed wrestler dabbled in amateur boxing with a long reach. Imagine him in a modern ring against Southpaw. Yo, imagine Abraham Lincoln boxing up Marco Boxing. What would Abraham Lincoln do to Marco Boxing? He would tear him up with the stick, and I'm sure that tall ass Abraham Lincoln had a brick up in that hat. The stick and the brick. No countdown shows for Ryan and Barrios guard. We'll do a countdown show. Bulbos, don't worry. I got the next couple of days off. We're gonna get that lined up. I was hoping for the weather to be a little bit better, but as you guys can see, this is the weather locally here in San Francisco. I wanted to do some cooking videos and workout videos but you know, such is life, and yeah, you can kind of see the rain droplets. But yeah, Bulbos, we're gonna be doing some content tomorrow and following. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this extra cam. Again, I'm gonna think about buying Starlink so I can do some camping cooks, you know, out of the fun truck. So pretty soon you're gonna be seeing me up in the Sierras, cooking up. What up, Jackie? Welcome to the show. Hope you're enjoying your President's Day and enjoy the stream. Thank you, Jackie, for tuning in always, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing some camping cooks. You guys get ready for some outdoor content out of the back of the fun truck. Just got me a little bit motivated. Okay. Deontay Wilder versus Derek Chisora is slated for April 4th. Speculating on aging warriors. Oh, speculate on aging warriors. This is AI telling me to narrate the conversation. Aging warriors. Can fucking Wilder put a punch together and knock Chisora out? You know, in his last fight, he stopped a guy. I mean, it counted as a TKO, but the guy ran out of breath. He pulled a Dada 3000. You know? Muhammad Ali's activism echoing presidential speeches. Nelson Mandela, when he was released from prison, one of the first people that he visited was Muhammad Ali. I was reminded of that. Watching Marco's boxing Marco's boxing panel yesterday, and that's why I love talking boxing, because every now and then you hear something that you probably heard before, but you have to go back and look it up. And how amazing is that? When Nelson Mandela was released from prison, one of the first people that he met up with is Muhammad Ali. Can you think of any modern day fighters that are at that level of fame, where you have someone that's fighting for rights on behalf of a country in South Africa, Nelson Mandela, and him coming out to meet up with Muhammad Ali? No, I mean, that's the impact that Muhammad Ali. And it looks like it was Jackie's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to Jackie. Happy birthday to Jackie, one of the original supporters of the Fun Truck Show. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like what you see. John F. Kennedy was an amateur boxer. Much like modern boxers like Shields balancing stardom and advocacy. Did we know that there was 3 presidents so far that I've read off that were boxers? John F. Kennedy. The White House once had a boxing ring under Roosevelt, but he quit after that eye injury. Safety first. Heavyweight champs have met presidents. Ali visited multiple times, symbolizing boxing's global reach beyond the ring. Presidents like Ford turned down the NFL offers for law school, paralleling boxers who pivoted careers post-retirement. No, I'm saying my birthday is April 3rd, the fight the same. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, let's wish February, March, April. So we got some time. Let's wish Jackie a happy early birthday. April 3rd is her birthday. January, February, March, April. Gosh. All right. How we doing, Fun Truckers? I like it. Keep it going. How we doing, Fun Truckers? Make sure to hit the like and subscribe on the way in as I continue to go over some interesting topics. All right. Hit the like and subscribe. Okay. In today's era of high-tech fitness, wearables, and biophysical metrics, would old school boxing still cut it for leaders under constant scrutiny? Dwight D. Eisenhower boxed and wrestled at West Point, crediting it for building the grit that led him to command Allied forces in World War II. Can you believe that Trump declined the draft twice and he came up with some bullshit about him being injured and like having some sort of ailment, and that's the whole reason why Trump wasn't drafted? But that's the leader of the free world. Now, back in the day, you have motherfuckers like Dwight D. Eisenhower who boxed and wrestled, and he built the gym. He built a gym out in the White House. But instead, you have motherfuckers like Trump who turned down being drafted for fake reasons because his daddy had some money, and he got that slip written from a doctor, uh, so he was disqualified from the draft. But how have times changed? It's February 21st. Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hirioka for the WBA super lightweight title. Russell's disciplined style echoes Eisenhower's military precision, plus Richardson Hitchens versus Duarte adds welterweight flair. Perfect night of boxing. What's up, Alberto? Call in if you feel like it. If you want to talk some boxing, this is where we talk some boxing. I don't really want to get into all this beef that comes along with this stuff. So, if you want to jump on, let's talk some boxing. Yeah, Lincoln was a slave owner himself. Bulbos. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think that it's cool that we have former presidents that were amateur boxers. Give me a list of all former presidents that were boxers. Very interesting. All right. And while that happens, let me pull up some content to put up on the screen. I like opening up boxing Reddit at times because share screen. I'll pull this up here. Boxing Reddit has this post up here that says, what 3 fights y'all consider to be some of the biggest robberies in boxing? And then you have Meldrick Taylor and Julio Cesar Chavez. Let's see. Oh, you have that South Korean gold medalist over Roy Jones Jr. And then you have Canelo and Triple G. Looks like that was the first one. Interesting. I don't know if you can technically call the first one a robbery because the referee stopped the fight. It was up to the discretion. It wasn't a judge's scorecards that technically made that a robbery. So that's what I don't understand. I think that the referee made a decision, and hell no, Purnell. That's Purnell. That's not. Please excuse me. He literally got stopped. Taylor was out on his feet, but there was like 10 seconds left. Let's pull that up. I'm going to pull that up in just a sec here on YouTube. The referee made a decision. He saw Meldrick Taylor's eyes. He stopped the fight. Meldrick Taylor versus Chavez. How a butterfly. When I think about this fight, I think about the butterfly effect. Because how different Meldrick Taylor's life would have been if he won that fight. And all right, Fun Trucker's going to watch this together.
It has been 78 years since a fighter began his professional boxing career with as many or more consecutive wins than Julio Cesar Chavez. Right now, the 66-0 record was
12th
such
round.
A landmark in the history of the sport.
When Julio Cesar
The
Chavez
best in the last
starts to
78
put it on.
years is in serious jeopardy. As round 11 comes toward a close, Julio Cesar Chavez must begin to contemplate the reality But he's got 3 minutes in which to produce an unlikely knockout, or he will see his streak end before thousands of his country. That is a tired Meldrick Taylor slipping to the canvas.
Okay, this is the last round.
2 minutes to go. Maybe 2 minutes left in Julio Cesar Chavez's historic unbeaten streak.
You would expect the aggression to be with Chavez. It's more so with Taylor. He's found he's behind on points.
Well, they're both tired.
Okay, are we coming up on it? Come on. Let's watch this.
Larry, the official time. He'll stop the...
Okay, I thought it was in the last 10 seconds. Here we go. The famous Richard Steele stops the fight. "30 seconds left. And he gets tagged with the right hand. Body shot. Meldrick stumbles into him. Gets crossed.
If he gets up, he probably wins the fight. I can't believe it.
Unbelievable. Richard Steele stopped the fight with fewer than 5 seconds to go.
Richard Steele stops the fight. Amazing. The butterfly effect that happened in Meldrick Taylor's career, going in a whole different trajectory. Yo, JFK, 6'1". Did you guys know he was an amateur boxer? He was a swimmer and a football player. Wasn't pro, but he had an amateur pedigree. Gerald Ford. He coached boxing at Yale and in the Navy. Some accounts describe him as having experience in the ring. Other presidents like Theodore Roosevelt, 5'10", and Dwight D. Eisenhower, 5'10 and a half, were avid boxers, but don't meet the height. No, I don't want to. All presidents who boxed regardless of size. Alberto, he was shot after the Chavez fight. Yeah. I mean, even in that second fight against Chavez, he did real well. Yeah, jump in, Alberto, if you want to talk about boxing. Let's go. Northern California, it's rainy out here. Hope you fun truckers are enjoying the stream. Hope we're all enjoying the stream. Shit, I'm like 5'10 and a half on a good day. 5'10 and a half on a good day. Theodore Roosevelt, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Gerald Ford. Okay, so there's 4 boxers, four presidents in history that have boxed. Only a handful are documented as having participated in boxing, either amateurs in training or coaching. Okay, shout out to all the presidents. All right, let's talk about Ryan Garcia now. And Ryan Garcia versus the Barrios. The Barrios, Ryan Garcia. Is he looking good? Is he looking too skinny? Ryan Garcia gets dropped. Oh, that was dirty. That was dirty. All right, we'll pause it there. Ryan Garcia. Nasty got dropped by Rolly Ramondo Romero. Bobo says Castillo versus Mayweather was a super robbery. I have to go take a look at that. De La Hoya versus Trinidad. Super robbery. Yayan doesn't like it. Yayan does not like that there were tons of robberies, and we're only pointing out the ones that the Mexicans got robbed in. Shit. Ryan Garcia, bro. This Ryan Garcia versus Barrios. And the new Oscar Duarte. And the new Richardson Hitchens is going to be a tough fight. It is going to be a tough fight. I'm excited. The co-main event, the fight that I'm looking forward to most is the Andy Hiroka versus Gary Antoine Russell. That is my main event. For some reason, it's just, sometimes when you're looking forward to a boxing card, it's not the main event that you're most interested in, because, and I've learned to do this, is find a fight on the card that you're more interested in the main event, because the main event will more than likely be underwhelming. So, to be honest, I want Ryan to knock him out so I can jump on the Ryan bandwagon again. Like right now, I'm sort of disappointed in his last performance against Romero. I did not like the performance against Duarte, even though he finished him. He was turning his back and just showing him ass cheeks the entire night. Like, that is not, and it wasn't even a highlight reel knockout. He did get him up out of there. So Ryan Garcia, please knock out Mario Barrios so we can jump on the bandwagon. We can have something to root for. A Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia rematch. Put that fight on here in San Francisco. Let's get all the fun truckers out in Northern California to come out here and be in the crowd for that fight. Ryan Garcia looking a little bit skinny, man. And I was watching his interviews. He looks a little frail to me, and that's concerning. But it looks like he's going to get the weight down and weigh in on weight. Ryan Garcia will be a lot better than Tio versus Shakur Snoofez. I was hyping up. Shit. That fell on the part of Tio. Tio just kind of froze in front of Shakur and looked lost. It's like that guy had nothing for him. He laid a goose egg. And that's the type of performance that you're going to go and regret for the rest of your life, because you can't even watch that back. You can't even watch that back if you're Teofimo and try to pick out some good points, because it was just Shakur's presence that made Teofimo just kind of like stand there shaking in his boots. Shit. That was Tio's fault. You around today? I would like to try to intercept the bag I gave you. Need a dress, shoes, and socks. Any chance of that happening? Okay. All right. What else do we have? Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hiroka. So February 21st, the main card starts at 2:45 p.m. 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, with Garcia Barrios expected to make the ring walks around 8:53 p.m. Since I'm in the West Coast, perfect for a President's Day weekend extension at the T-Mobile Arena. The fight is going to be live on pay-per-view. $80 pay-per-view card. Shake my head. Fucking, I don't know when they're going to get it through their head to not price these pay-per-views so expensive. $80. Ryan Garcia 24-2 versus Mario Barrios 29-2. Garcia is 27, coming off a loss against Rolando Romero, while Barrios is 30, has drawn with his last two fights against Manny Pacquiao and Abel Ramos. Abel Ramos versus Mario Barrios is a fight that I'm going to have to go back and take a look at. I forgot that they had drew. The betting odds, Garcia is the clear favorite across sportsbooks, reflecting his star power, knockout ability, and reach advantage. 70-inch reach advantage for Ryan Garcia, 71 for Barrios. The money line, Garcia is a minus 225 to minus 270 in some sports books. Barrios is a plus 170 to plus 212. This implies 66 to 69% chance for Garcia to win. Garcia has a 69% chance to win. Let's go. Yeah, Garcia is running to the smoke, man.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man, they call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, Fun Truckers. The over-under is 10.5 rounds, with the over favored at -140, so people think that it's going to go the distance. Odds vary slightly. Prediction and analysis. Most experts lean toward Garcia due to his explosive speed and power, which could overwhelm Barrios early. He's predicted to win by stoppage in rounds 7 through 9. I'm predicting my final official prediction is round 6. However, Barrios has experience edge as defending champ and could drag Garcia into deep waters. If he weathers the storm, his blueprint might involve counterpunching and testing Garcia's chin and stamina. Some see an upset if Barrios capitalizes on Garcia's mental health struggles or recent inconsistencies. Garcia's youth and star power give him the nod, but Barrios' resilience makes him competitive. Alex Alberto. First time I've seen this name in the chat. Appreciate you, Fun Trucker. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Alex Alberto. Dana White has already won. Last night he sent the message. Dana White's already won. Okay. No, I mean, he's on his way, and Zuffa Boxing is on the way to the top. They just need to fix their matchmaking and add a roster of fighters within this next year. I think they're going to do really good things. You know, get fighters that want to fight. Put the matchups that interest us, even just a little bit on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? If you put some good fights on, you're going to get lots of fans.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
Gosh, I just spilled a little bit of coffee. I'm going to have to clean this up for a sec. All right, sorry about that, guys. I spilled a little bit of coffee. Thanks, Jackie. I'm gonna have to make a coffee trip once we get some people up on the panel. Need some coffee. How we doing this Monday? Is Alberto? He says, is Zama? I don't even know how to pronounce that name. A top 5 light heavyweight in the world. Was that the guy who got the lead uppercut knockout yesterday in the co-main event? That guy just went. That's the type of shit that you don't really see that often. Yeah, appreciate you guys for hanging on here. There's still some coffee that's soaking up a little bit of corner of my room. All right, give me more topics. What do we think about Ryan Garcia this weekend? You know, and in his interviews recently, he's been stating that it was the lack of discipline in his diet and his substance intake that he couldn't put a camp together. He couldn't get up for Rolly. So what's the difference this time around? You know, are you sober enough throughout the year that you can take this fight and beat 100% of mentally and physically? So shit. Ryan Garcia also mentioned that there was this weird energy the night of the the Times Square card where they fought. But look at all these faces that you see here. You see this open mouth. Yeah, let me see. You see, look at this lady here with an open mouth, and just complete shock on this face, on their faces. No one expected this to happen. Ryan was in a bad mental state. Yeah, he was. Allegedly, he was in his own mind. He was in a bad mental state. Ryan versus Barrios. February 21st, a couple days away. The schedule leading up for this Saturday is I'll be going live tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well. Be doing a countdown for the Ryan Garcia versus Barrios card, doing an in-depth analysis of all of the fights on the card, including Bully, the guy who's starting us off. And I was trying to get a interview with Nahir Albright. Let me check my Instagram. Let's see if I got him, if he's been able to respond. At first, he was replying to me, and then he just kind of stopped. So I had to send him a couple last messages. I'm like, hey man, if you're around, happy to do it. Let me just send him one more. Good luck this weekend. Good luck this weekend, champ. And just put that out there. Yep. All right, Nahir Albright. Nahir Albright's going to be fighting Frank Martin. We're going to try to Fa looked good. I mean, he looked good for how long it lasted, right? I think him versus Anthony Joshua in Nigeria is actually a really good fight. That was coming across my mind. What do you guys think about it? Pre-weight cleared. Both aced the WBC's 7-day safety check. Barrios hit 150.6, just under the 151.8, while Garcia came in at 149.4, showing he's dialed in. Barrios, in a fresh interview, Barrios called this one a one-sided title defense. Okay. Alex says, I'm conflicted when it comes to the main event. I'm picking Hiroka to beat Gary Antoine, though. Andy Hiroka, the Japanese Ghanaian fighter, looking to upset Gary Antoine Russell. All right, I already went over how you can watch it. You watch it on DAZN. Make sure to use Marco's code. He gets a little bit of a kickback. Garcia has a 69% chance of winning the fight. We've got that down. The over-under is 10.5 rounds. Richardson Hitchens is the co-main event. IBF super lightweight title. Let us cover that a little bit now. Let's move on to the co-main event of Andy Hiroka. I like saying that name. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter too. But how we doing, fun truckers? Let me know what we'd like to talk about. Conflicted. That truck that was loud as fuck. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Let me turn the volume down. I'm sorry, guys. I turned the volume down on my end. But let's go. Walk to the smoke. Walk to the smoke.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
You know, how do you want to be remembered?
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
Anybody can't get it. Let me try to get the Mickey Victorious on. See if he's wanting to jump on the panel and shoot the shit. Call me the Can Man. What is on? Wait, what is it on your soundboard? Yeah, I got a soundboard. I'm adding a little bit of features to the stream. So,
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
yeah, we got Nate Diaz. We also have this one here. I wanted Fimo to win so bad against Shakur, but he didn't even land a punch. My prediction was completely wrong, and Canelo lost to Crawford. So I'm going to eat my crow for the last year. Those were the two fights that I completely got wrong. Yeah, we added that as well. But yeah. Truck, what do you think of Chicana boxing? I haven't heard of that. Let me look that up. Bulbos asked, what do we think about Chicana boxing? Let me look that up, Bulbos. The UFC is also happening this weekend for all my UFC fans. Sean Strickland is fighting Anthony Hernandez. Those that will be watching that MMA on Saturday. Let's see what else is happening. Bautista versus Oliveira. That's also happening. All right, let me look for Chicana boxing. Let me see what this is about. I think I've heard of that. Chicana boxing. Oh, she's a YouTuber. Welcome to Chicana, a multimedia platform for all things and sometimes wrestling and lucha libre. Okay, so this is the fake fun truck is wild. There's only one fun truck. There's only one, man.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man, they call me the problem, but you could call me the Can Man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
The Can Man, anybody can get it. Okay, cool. Thanks for the plug, Bobos. But yeah, let's get back to what we were discussing at first. Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hiroka, the Japanese Ghanaian fighter. Alex Alberto G. Is Manny fighting Devin or Rolly, or is everyone just waiting for the result of the Ryan fight? I think that it seems to be the case. I think we are waiting for the results of the Ryan fight. I think this dictates what's going to happen with Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Richardson Hitchens after this weekend. Lots of storylines that can come after this fight. So storylines after the fight. Let's see if we can get some stuff. Russell is extremely overrated. No, Bulbos. I think that he's actually the dark horse, and he's a boogeyman. The way that he beat Rayo, and actually the way that he fought against Buello. I know that he lost, but man, he put up a good fight. So I think that he's right where he deservingly needs to be. He's a champion. But back to this point here. What are the storylines after the fight? You know, does Devin pick up the rematch against Ryan Garcia? What weight does that happen at? 47? You know, what if Ryan barely makes the weight and just and knocks Barrios out, but says that was too much for him, so he has to go up to 54? There's no way that I think Ryan can compete with the guys at 54. Not the elite level like Boots, Ortiz, or Xander just right now, because I think that he's still so small. I mean, physically, he's going to be 2 or 3 inches shorter, and frame wise, those guys are going to be having the edge. I think that Ryan's not his indiscipline is going to be a detriment, and he's even admitted that himself. If Barrio wins by upset or KO, that's a plus 180. That's not that high of a betting line to win by KO. Draw or contest, nah. We can see some draws happening if it's a lackluster fight. We've had a good amount of draws in the last year. Draws in boxing in the last year. Russell extremely overrated. Muradaya schools him. I'd like to see that fight. That is an excellent fight. Muradaya versus Gary Antoine Russell. That's at 135, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like Muradaya just beat Andy Cruz, and was that at 140 or 135? Can you remind me, Bulbos? I got so much shit that I have to pay attention to. The weight classes are hard for me. But dang, out of coffee here. Is Russell with Al Heyman? He's PBC. He's a PBC fighter through and through. Yeah, he's with Al Heyman. Yep. Andy Cruz versus Muradaya was at 35. So I don't know. You know, Russell is a 140 through and through. And that motherfucker can punch. I think it's a great fight. But I don't think if it's as easy as Yayid says he loves the AB sound. Yeah, man. You wanna come up here and call me how do you have that view? Well, Cash, who is this? Is this Serrata? Is this Sarasota? Shit. This is the view out the window of the Fun Truck Studios. Just a rainy day here in Northern California. Decided I'd give you guys a little bit of a change up, and foreshadowing what I want to do some things.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man, they call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
Okay. Cash says, no, like, how do you count it up like that? This is Serrata. This is Sarasota. Well, jump on, Serrata. Fucking jump on the stream, bro. Let's fucking shoot the shit. I need to run to grab some coffee, so maybe you can talk for 2 minutes. The coffee shop is around the corner. Fun Truckers. Lance Mayer. Did you watch that Netflix short film that I recommended? I think that you remind me of a character in there, and I want to know. Let me know if you know who I'm talking about. What up, Lance? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Caroline Dubois, January 11th. Gervonta Tank. Oh, okay. So I asked AI to give me some draws within the last year, and Caroline Dubois versus Jessica Kamara. That was a draw, January 11th, 2025. Tank versus Lamont, March 1st. It's about to be a year since Tank bent the knee against Lamont Roach, January, February, March. So in a month, will be 1 year removed since Tank's last fight. Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos. That was a draw. Netflix. Okay, so there's this 18-minute short film. It's on Netflix. It's like one of the first things that you'll get promoted or thing on Netflix, and it's about a group of guys at a bar singing, and it reminded me all about a boxing YouTube community. It's a bunch of dudes just shooting the shit around a bar, and it sounds like a boxing YouTube panel. So yeah, I just put that up in the Discord if you guys want to take a look. 18 minutes long. It's really well done. You'll get through it pretty quickly. All right. Sebastian Fondura versus Tim Zhu. Rematch, the first fight, a tense full rematch adjustment, blah, blah, blah. The draw left. Okay, so Sebastian Fondura versus Tim Zhu. The first one was a draw. Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz. They robbed Hamza. I'm sorry, Carlos. They That's when Turkey went up to Hamza's corner and was throwing up the number. He's like, you need 1 round. You need 1 round. Shit, that shit wouldn't happen in the States, and that's when Carlos Adames was robbed, and they shelved that motherfucker. And then recently he was supposed to fight, but he something happened. So like look what happens, bro. You get shelved October 2025, and yeah, you got nothing to show for it. So Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach, December 6th, 2025. Was that December 6th? That was not too long ago. Yeah. And that was a draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draws. Haney clan sick. What's going to happen after this weekend? You know, what are the storylines going to be after this weekend? Does Devin Haney look to Ryan Garcia? Does he take the belt off of Barrios? Is that an easy belt to snatch for him against Barrios? Richardson Hitches, does he have a breakout performance, or does he just narrowly thread through the needle and get by Duarte? Does Duarte upset Richardson Hitchin and does he make Ryan Garcia's resume a little bit better? Shit, there's a couple good storylines coming out of this weekend. Regardless, we have a good main event. There's some good fights on the card, and the Fun Truck Show is going to be covering it live here. Yeah, I paid for the pay-per-view a month ago, so my ass is tied to it. I have to be covering it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be covering it. Let's get the knockout, Ryan. I want to be back on the bandwagon. I got Garcia, Duarte, Hiroka, and Beck. Janib. Bektemir, rather, not Janibek, because Janibek is in Uzbekistan who, the Uzbeks are notoriously known for cheating in the Olympic Games and professional boxing. You can't trust an Uzbek. Just slimy behavior from the Uzbeks. Janibek, fucking pass a drug test guy. Garcia, Duarte, Hiroka, and Bektemir. Bulbos. Isaac Pitbull Cruz. They thought that he was washed and his that he was done for, and Lamont Roach was gonna walk all over Pitbull Cruz. You had people on panels saying that Pitbull was trash and couldn't do shit, but yet this motherfucker Pitbull sat Lamont Roach on his ass and should have won, but they gave him the draw. I'm undecided about Frank Martin versus Albright. I got Albright all day. I don't even have to do any film study from the little memory that I have of both fighters. Now here Albright should clean Frank Martin's clock, take him to school, visit the cafeteria, say what's up to the lunch lady all day. Now here Albright's a better boxer and taller, and I think that he is just better physically and technique wise. He's got everything to beat Frank Martin. Frank Martin fought very scared against Pitbull Cruz. Tank. If you ever want to see what fighting scared looks like, if you want to know what fighting scared looks like, look at the Frank Martin fight versus Tank. That is just the epitome of fighting scared. And actually, I have a question for all you fun truckers in the comment section. Can you guys think of a fight where one fighter looked absolutely terrified? Yeah, there are some Mike Tyson ones, but I'm talking about like their face looked like they were scared. But I'm talking about fighting scared, where they were very hesitant. Shoot, one that comes to mind recently is Jermaine Ortiz. I think that he fought scared against Keyshawn Davis, believe it or not. I saw a little something in those middle rounds where he was like hesitant to throw, and he was just doing enough to pivot. And like even when he pivoted out, and normally he would throw a boxing combination together, he was kind of pivoting out and looking at Keyshawn Davis intensely. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that can you pull up any recent fights where fighters fight scared? Give me a second to grab some water here. Bulbo says that Skull was scared versus Canelo. That's actually a good one. I mean, yeah, that is a good one. Skull did not want to, Jermel, the Charlo that fought Canelo. I think he fought scared as well after getting knocked down, and he got hit with the flush right hand, stared at Canelo, and took the knee. That's what Meldrick Taylor should have done really in that 12th round. He should have took 2 knees, bro, instead of like getting clocked and start zombie walking towards Chavez. He should have got clocked, take the knee, lose the round, but win the fight. Let's see what AI has to say. Fighters who fought scared. Hope everyone's enjoying their President's Day weekend. Long weekend. Shit, I fell asleep last night. On listening to Marco's boxing live, and he's 3 hours ahead in New York, and it was like 10 or 11 p.m. over here California time, and I fucking fell asleep with that shit playing under my pillow. 10:30. No, I see you're okay. All right, fun truckers. What do we think? Any other fighters that you guys can think of where the fighters were scared? Let's ask ChatGPT. Where's the boxing ChatGPT Mo Brains at? We need him to give us boxers who fought scared inside of the ring. Inside of the ring. Marco boxing would be scared in front of me. That's for a fact. That guy wouldn't want to stand in front of me. He'll be fighting like Skull. Shit. Marco boxing would turn into William Skull if he ever stepped in there with Fun Truck. Even at his prime, Marco boxing would be able to touch me with a 10-foot pole. Someone clip that and send it to him. All right, so I just asked ChatGPT fighters that fought scared, and you know what? This is crazy. Fighters who admitted to being scared in the ring. Mike Tyson openly said he used to cry before fights. He described being afraid of what he might have to do his opponents and the violence involved. Despite his baddest man image, fear his mindset. Okay, Canelo looks scared against Bud. Rigondeaux versus Casamiro. Canelo looked scared against Bud. Haney versus Ramirez. I don't know about if he looked scared, but he definitely was hesitant, like throwing some shit. And he just, to me, Yayan, it just looked like Canelo had one power move. Like when you're in like you're the Street Fighter character, and you have one move. It just felt like Canelo was jamming that button with the hook, and it wasn't even working, not even coming close. George Foreman said, "I was always afraid in the ring." He explained his fear made him more dangerous, like a cornered cat. Oscar De La Hoya admitted he felt fear before every fight, not just in big ones. Said the walk to the ring is often the scariest moment until adrenaline kicks in. Dang, I believe this from Oscar because, like, yeah, no one is. Everyone gets nervous. Nerves are part of the sport, but the greats, the boxing greats, make nerves look like confidence. So you have a Keyshawn Davis when he's walking out to the ring and he's on the stage. Keyshawn Davis is not about to cry walking into the ring. That Keyshawn Davis is chomping at the bit to get in the motherfucker. And that's why I'm thinking, this is my high level eye. I've been around coaching in gyms, and when I see that, I think that guy is different. I think Keyshawn is just a little bit different because there's motherfuckers who chomp at the bit to get in the ring. They're the four walls of truth. They excel and overperform inside of the boxing ring. All the bullshit outside of like overweighing in Norfolk, Virginia, being pounds over and having your brothers throw a fit, all this bullshit, all of that is forgotten when you step inside the ring and the four walls of truth. Keyshawn Davis is really that guy. So keep an eye out. Well, I mean, he's well known already, and I think that there's a lot of us that I think he's on his way to the top. Mel Griffith, after killing Benny Perret in their tragic 1962 fight, Griffith said he fought with fear afterward. He became terrified or hurting or killing another opponent. Yeah, sadly, there are boxers who've lost their lives inside of the ring. So respect to every warrior who's ever been inside there. Muhammad Ali, before the first Ali versus Liston, the doctor said he looked scared to death. His manic antics were later revealed to be psychological warfare, masking nerves. Fighters who Michael Spinks. Oh, fighters who fought scared in specific fights. This is what I wanted to talk about. Michael Spinks looked visibly shaken. Frank Bruno against Tyson. Shane Mosley against Manny Pacquiao. All right. Just hang on, fun truckers. I got a truck's got to use the bathroom for half a second. All right, thanks for hanging on, fun truckers. Call me the can man because anybody can get it. And Mick wants to talk all this shit except for when I'm live. Mick's the type of guy to call me on different panels, but anytime when I go live, he just becomes a scared little cat. All right. Thanks for hanging in there, fun truckers. Happy President's Day today to everybody out there. Make sure to get your work in. Go for a run. Uh-oh. Where is the microphone audio coming from? Eesh. Sorry about that if you heard the toilet flush. Reality check. Fear is normal in boxing. Many legends say the same thing. Fear sharpens instincts. No fear equals recklessness. Managing fear is a championship mindset. Customado's famous philosophy was the hero and the coward feel the same fear. Sorry. Customado's famous philosophy. The hero and the coward feel the same fear. The hero uses it. Damn. That's the subject that we're going to end the stream on today. I'm going to go on for some more time, so I'm not just finishing up yet. But Customado's philosophy on fear, discipline, and greatness. When you talk about fear, everything leads back to Cuss. He didn't just train fighters, he built mindsets. His techniques shaped champions like Mike Tyson and influenced generations after. Cuss believed fear was necessary, not weakness. And his famous quote, the hero and the coward both feel the same fear. The hero uses his fear, projects it into his opponent while the coward runs. What did he mean by that? Fear is biological. You can't remove it. Courage is controlling your fear. The fighter who channels fear becomes dangerous. He taught fighters to accept fear, to study it, to weaponize it. All right, I'm going to keep going because I like this. Cuss hated wild brawling. His style was calculated violence. He developed the peekaboo style. High guard, gloved by your cheeks, constant head movement, explosive entries, angled attacks. This system allowed smaller heavyweights like Tyson to close distance safely, neutralize taller fighters, attack without absorbing damage. Discipline over talent. Cuss believed discipline beat natural talent. He drilled fighters on early morning road work, repetition, same combos thousands of times, film study, psychological conditioning. He famously said, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. Cuss trains mind. Cuss trained minds as much as bodies. He used visualization. Fighters imagine winning before fights, mentally rehearse knockouts and adversity. He convinced fighters they were destined for greatness. With Tyson, he built the belief you were feared, opponents already broken, you are inevitable. This created Tyson's aura in the 1980s. Cuss often looked Cuss often took troubled kids and reshaped them physiologically. He'd strip the ego, isolate them from negative environments, rebuild confidence through structure. He became a father figure, especially to Tyson after legal guardianship. Cuss warned about two dangers: too much fear, paralysis, hesitation. No fear equals recklessness, vulnerability. He wanted fighters right in the middle, alert, sharp, predatory. Cuss studied psychology, Roman Greek warriors, historical conquerors. He treated boxing like warfare. Ring is the battlefield. Fear is a survival instinct. Strategy is brute force. That's amazing. You know, the philosophical influences that Customato led into his or trained into his fighters is chilling to me. I like all of that. Boxing as warfare, fear, survival, strategy over strength. Cuss didn't see boxing as a sport. He saw it as a ritualized combat. Ritualized combat. Man, I've never heard it put like that. But that's so true. It is ritualized combat. Everything he taught pulled from war, history, psychology, and the ancient fighters. Cuss believed fighters were decided mentally before physically. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Cuss believed fights were decided mentally before physically. He studied fear responsiveness, adrenaline spikes, tunnel vision, freezing under threat. He taught fighters to reframe their fear. He tell fighters, your body is preparing you to fight, not to run. Oof. What's up, Barry? Thank you for leaving a comment. Welcome to the Fun Truck Show. Appreciate you for dropping a comment. Happy President's Day to you. We're just wrapping up the President's Day morning stream with a little bit of Customato's philosophy to boxing. Canelo's next fight will pay him over 80 million. He's still the face of boxing. Yep, that's what the face of boxing does, man. You get paid 80 million bucks for shit. 80 million bucks fighting Resendiz or like a Mbili. That's going to be crazy. Fuck. Imagine that. You know, Lester Martinez fought Mbili for like more than likely under $1 million, and Canelo's about to make 80 million buckaroonies. Ka studied battlefield generals and conquerors to understand how men handle fear, how leaders create belief, how intimidation wins before combat. He'd reference figures like Alexander the Great, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Julius Caesar. Momentum matters, aura wins battles, and precision over chaos. Let's go, Customato. Let's fucking go. Attack where opponent isn't set. Rhythm and disruption. Breaking timing. Never be predictable. Head movement. Make power miss by inches. Tyson versus taller heavyweights is the blueprint. Slip the jab. Step on the inside. Hook to the body and hook to the head. Identity as warfare into he built fighters to believe I am inevitable. They fear me. I break opponents. Shit, I could go on and on about that. The philosophy of boxing and how boxing is ritualized combat. That is something that's going to stick with me. Ritualized combat. Because it is. Because boxing is ritualized combat. Boxing is not a sport. The best NFL, NBA players in the world cannot just turn into the sport of boxing because it's not a sport. It's a fucking mindset. It's ritualized combat. You have to have it within you. You need a custom auto, which there are very few custom autos in this world, but you need a good trainer, and you need to have the dog within. You need to have those two things. Plus, you need to have the body for it. And then on top of that, you need to have the family and support, the financial stuff, because it is sort of expensive to do this stuff, like to travel. If you're a good fighter, you're going to need to travel nationally to get the good competition. So it's just a mix of all these separate things, right? So the best NBA and NFL players will never become the best boxers, MMA fighters in the world, because they don't have that dog in them. It's either you have it or you don't. And some people, when they get punched in the face, and it's like when you get popped with the basketball on your nose when you're playing basketball and you try to catch it, and you get popped in your face and you feel all that weird rush of blood coming to your face, and then you go like that. That's what it's like getting hit with the boxing glove on, but 10 times worth by someone that's standing in front of you. And so I love this philosophy of boxing. I think that to Tyson's downfall was really the death of Customato. And there's no questions behind that. Customato, if he would have remained alive, the trajectory of Tyson's career would be so much different. Absolutely interesting stuff for me. I'm more interested in this stuff because I'm going to actually look into some Customato books, because the way that I was taught from my trainer it resembles a lot of the stuff that Customato would tell his fighters. Channel all of that energy. If you're having a bad day, if you're feeling fearful, um, channel that energy into the ring, where the four walls of truth are. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. What up, Frank Bay? All right, what do we have here? Barry says only heavyweights go toe to toe. That's why it's the most popular. Not like Shakur or Crawford running style. Some heavyweights. Shout out Barry. Thank you for the comment. What up, Frank Bay? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the comment. Frank Bay's got his YouTube channel as well, where he talks about boxing. If you're still listening, Frank, I think you're doing a good job, brother. I would think that you have an excellent voice for the boxing content creation. Appreciate you, Frank Bay. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream there. It's an early one, but just wanted to come on this morning and wish everybody a happy President's Day, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day, the long weekend. Make sure to get a run and workout in. Here are some views from Northern California, Bay Area specifically. It's been a good one so far, everybody. Appreciate all you fun truckers for hitting the like and sub on the way out. All right, fun truckers, Lance, make sure you guys check out that Netflix show called The Singers. It's an 18-minute short film. It's basically a story about our lives. You guys got to watch it. All right, on that note, Fun Truck is out. I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.